My name is Kevin Peters. I'm the Director of Emergency Management for Leon County. Welcome to the Leon County and City of Tallahassee pre-landfall press conference on Hurricane Ian. We want to thank our media partners for being in attendance today as we share this important preparedness update for the community. We also want to thank all of those watching our live streams or listening to us on WFSU radio for taking part in this update. Earlier this morning, Ian became a hurricane in the western Caribbean Sea, and as of right now, the storm continues to rapidly intensify. And it has created a threat to the entire state of Florida, as well as the southeastern region of the United States. For Leon County, Hurricane Ian poses a significant wind threat and potentially exposes our community to tropical storm force winds for long periods of time. The storm will also bring moderate rainfall of 4 to 6 inches of rain. Leon County Emergency Management has been watching Ian's progression since it formed as a tropical wave in the central Atlantic on September 20th around 8 a.m. Ian is currently lashing Grand Cayman, and areas of Florida are now under a hurricane watch in anticipation of Hurricane Ian's storm surge and significant wind field. Speaking of wind field, it will be very important to monitor the wind field as Ian progresses along its track. The current forecast demonstrates that Hurricane Ian's wind field will extend 270 miles away from its center, well beyond the track of the storm, which could bring those high winds into Leon County. Further, Ian is projected to slow down as it approaches Florida, meaning the winds may not reach our community until early Thursday morning, and they may last longer as a result of this slowdown, which could amplify or prolong effects. That is why we will continue to watch Hurricane Ian and monitor its potential impacts on our community. The Emergency Operations Center is activated, and our teams are coordinating with all of our community's disaster response agencies, as well as the State Emergency Operations Center. As Leon County continues to monitor Hurricane Ian, our residents can never be too informed or too prepared for disaster. To receive critical emergency information during disasters, please visit the county's emergency information portal at leoncountyfl.gov/EI. You can also visit leonready.com to find a host of resources and materials like the 2020 Disaster Survival Guide that will help you and your family prepare for disasters. You may also download the Leon County Citizens Connect mobile app, your best source for up to the minute emergency information during any disaster. You can receive real-time updates on Hurricane Ian right at your fingertips. Now, I'd like to turn the press conference over to Leon County Chairman of the County Commission, Bill Proctor.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bill Proctor, Chairman of County Government. Today, I've declared a state of emergency that our community can respond as well as prepare for the aftermath and the potential of a emergency hurricane. Since Hurricanes Michael, Irming, we've seen from a couple other hurricanes, this one called Ian is equally as potentially devastating. Our community has been working with at least 75 other first responders, other entities that likewise across the state of Florida are looking, tracking, developing, and dealing with responses for our communities. We're not God, but we know the power of God when God has the hiccups. We know the power of nature. And we understand that over the last few years, storms have intensified with much more devastation. And this assembly of public officials here today is to tell our community to take this thing very seriously. Our job is to provide for the health, the safety, and welfare, and through the tracking of our meteorologists, our scientists, and all the technical folk have said to us that we would assemble to say to our community, prepare and be ready. I'm well pleased with all of the activation of which our staff have done. We have website information that all the experts and technical folk are going to share with you. But as Chairman of County Government, please know that we are under a state of emergency. And with those things being said, I share now and invite Mayor John Daly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I certainly appreciate it. Thank you for the declaration, by the way. We do appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, one thing that is wonderful about our community is that during these times of intense pressure in moving through natural disasters, you have a city, a county, a school board that do work hand in hand. And first, I want to thank Kevin Peters and all the men and women of the Emergency Operations Center for the fine work that you do. And we truly come together as a community. Kevin gave a great detailed outlook on where the storm is and where it's headed. The chairman updated us on the county level. Let me bring you up to speed on the city level as well. The City of Tallahassee is the largest utility provider in the Panhandle. We maintain thousands of miles of infrastructure, whether it's the electric utility, the water utility, wastewater, stormwater, or natural gas. And we do have the #1 public utility in the nation. We are prepared. We are monitoring and clearing debris where necessary on all of our infrastructure across the state of Florida, across the City of Tallahassee, so that we are truly prepared for whatever the storm may bring us. We will assess the damage once the storm passes, and we will move forward with restoration. All of our mutual aid agreements are intact and ready to be executed. We appreciate the county's declaration of emergency. We appreciate the state's declaration of emergency, which gives us flexibility with our state resources as well. The City of Tallahassee is prepared, and we will continue to work hand in hand with the county and with the EOC, and we will get through this together because we are Tallahassee strong. Now, I would like to take a second as mayor of Tallahassee to remind each citizen, while we still have a day or two before the storm is going to strike, please take this time. It's not a time to panic, but it is a time to be prepared. Make sure that you take care of yourself, your family, your pets, your neighbors, and together we're going to make it through this storm. The best way to communicate with the City of Tallahassee and for us to communicate with you is through our Daly app. If you're interested in knowing more about the electric outages that may occur during the storm, that is the appropriate platform. So I encourage you to prepare yourself, prepare your family, prepare your neighbors, download the Daly app, and we are going to get through this together. At this time, I'd like to invite the Sheriff Walt McNeil, to the podium, please. Sheriff.
Thank you, Mayor. Let me get my first responder family to come up here with me. Guys, come on around here. You know, this isn't a sheriff's show. This is a first responder show here. Let me, first of all, say to our citizens out there, we talked about this some months ago. We said to you, the citizens of Leon County, get your buckets ready. We talked about those buckets. It is now time to get those buckets ready. We are prepared. We have had several conversations. Kevin's led a number of conversations about the storm and when it might get here. And our first responders are ready to respond. But more important than anything else, our citizens have to be ready. When I talk about being ready, that means going out and making sure you've topped off your gas, that you've got dollars in your, not credit cards, but you've got dollars in your pocket so that you can, in fact, continue to function if you need to move out of harm's way. We also, in terms of our first responder families, we want to make sure that if the storm gets here, we want to minimize the number of persons on our roadways driving. That makes our jobs a whole lot easier. We can anticipate with this storm that there are going to be trees down. Historically, Leon County, we have beautiful trees, but they come down during these storms. It is now the time. We've got about 3 days to get ready. So I'm pleading with the citizens of Leon County. Let's do what we can do. The mayor said, Tallahassee strong. Let's be exactly that, Tallahassee strong. Thank you. Now I'll introduce our Rocky Hanner, our superintendent of schools. Rocky?
Thank you, Sheriff, and good afternoon. First, I'd like to say how lucky we are as a community to have Kevin Peters in the position he's in. I sincerely mean that, Kevin. You've led us through storms like this in the past, and we have no doubt that you will continue to do so with this storm and with future storms. We live in Florida. It's part of what we signed up for, you know, dealing with hurricanes. Thankfully, it's been a number of years. We dodged the bullet during the height of COVID, but here we are again. And I'm proud to stand up here with other community leaders, but let's make this abundantly clear. Our #1 responsibility is to keep our community safe. And my #1 responsibility is to keep our school children safe, and we will do just exactly that. people don't realize that our schools serve many functions. We educate our children. We give them extracurricular and co-curricular activities. But in a time of crisis and during storms, we are also called upon to open our schools as emergency shelters for residents both in Tallahassee and Leon County and those from across the state as they seek shelter from storms in facilities that are hardened to withstand hurricane force winds. So as of right now, I can tell you that we are well prepared. Even though we haven't done this in a number of years, we have been working tirelessly over that period of time to ensure we were prepared for this moment. We have identified 7 sites, mainly our high schools and a couple of outlying middle schools that will serve as shelters if called upon. But we are more than prepared and working along with the Red Cross to provide safety and comfort to individuals who are displaced because of the storm. I can also say that tomorrow, Leon County Public Schools will be open, much to the chagrin of the Daly boys. But there's a lot of uncertainty still with this storm. It's south of Cuba. 18 things can change between now and tomorrow alone. So it would be premature for us to try to make announcements other than Leon County Public Schools will be open tomorrow. We have a conference call with our principals this afternoon. We'll wait and get the update later at 4 o'clock, and if we can responsibly make additional comments about the future of the week, we will certainly do that. You know, you're kind of caught in a catch-22. It's that keeping people safe and keeping schools open. Where's that sweet spot? You know, the last thing we want to do is have to shut down schools and for 60,000 parents to figure out what they're going to do for childcare. But at the end of the day, we're going to do what's right and what's best with the guidance of Kevin and his team, along with other officials behind me. We will do everything we possibly can to ensure for the safety of our community and the safety of our school children. Thank you. And this time, I think, Kevin, it goes back to you.
All right, yes, thank you, Superintendent Hannah, and thank you to all of the speakers for the insightful words on preparedness. And as the superintendent was mentioning, this is not a mission that any of us complete by ourselves. This is a community-wide mission from our first responders and our emergency responders to each member of the public. We all have a responsibility to be prepared, and now is the time to continue that preparedness. Thank you again today to all of our media partners who are in attendance, and thank you to those who are listening online or on the radio with WFSU. While this completes our press conference today, does not complete our preparedness. We urge all citizens to continue to build their bucket and get ready for Hurricane Ian and continue to stay informed. Download the Leon County Citizens Connect mobile app, your best source for up-to-the-minute emergency information during this disaster. That concludes our press conference. Our speakers will be available for one-on-one interviews shortly. We will have public information officers available to set those with you. Thank you all.